A very good morning to all my dear students. Today we are going to start our new chapter of geography, that is chapter number 5, moisture in the air. So let's start with the introduction. The water that is continuously evaporating from seas and lakes becomes water vapor in the air, and it is also called the moisture in the air. यह मोस्टली एटमॉस्फेयर की लोअर लेयर्स तक ही कन्फाइंड होता है. Evaporation of surface water is the main source of humidity. Water is also given off by the plants and animals. Plants में transpiration के process में and animals में breathing में water give off होता है. Now distribution of water vapor. वाटर वेपर एटमॉस्फेयर की सबसे वेरिएबल गैस है. इसकी क्वांटिटी एयर में ऑल ओवर सेम नहीं होती, सो इट इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. फॉर एग्जांपल, वाटर वेपर इन द एयर इज ग्रेटर ओवर ओशंस देन इट इज ओवर द लैंड. यह समर्स और रेनी सीजन्स में विंटर से ज़्यादा होते हैं. यह लो लैटिट्यूड एरियाज में ज़्यादा होते हैं देन दी हाई लैटिट्यूड्स. द मॉइस्चर इन द एयर मीन्स वाटर वेपर डिक्रीजेस विद इंक्रीज इन द अल्टीट्यूड, एंड इन द एयर अबव 12 किलोमीटर water vapor is almost absent. So all this thing shows that the water vapors are dispersed, it is distributed. Significance of water vapor. Although water vapor forms only a small portion of the atmosphere, yet it plays an important role. First one is, moisture in the air is necessary for the existence of all forms of life on the earth. अर्थ पर लाइफ के लिए मॉइस्चर ज़रूरी है. बिना मॉइस्चर के लाइफ एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर सकती. सेकेंड इज, यह एटमॉस्फेयर की हीटिंग और कूलिंग में हेल्प करता है. यह डे टू डे वेदर में चेंज लेकर आता है. विदाउट वाटर वेपर क्लाउड्स कैन नॉट फॉर्म. बिना वाटर वेपर्स के क्लाउड्स नहीं बन सकते. यह रेन, स्नो, हेल, फॉग, फ्रॉस्ट, ड्यू का भी कारण बनते हैं. वाटर वेपर इन द एयर इज नेवर स्टैटिक. यह अपनी स्टेट चेंज करते रहते हैं. दैट इज फ्रॉम वाटर वेपर टू वाटर, दैट मीन्स गैस फॉर्म टू लिक्विड फॉर्म, एंड फ्रॉम स्नो एंड वाटर टू अगेन वाटर वेपर. जब भी यह अपनी स्टेट चेंज करते हैं, देन हीट इज ईदर एब्जॉर्ब्ड और रिलीज्ड. लास्ट इज, वाटर वेपर is crucial for water cycle or hydrologic cycle. Water cycle involves three physical processes. First one is evaporation, second is condensation, third is precipitation. Now let us study these three processes separately. The first one is evaporation. Evaporation is the process by which water is converted into water vapor by the heat of the sun and then enters the atmosphere. Means सूर्य की गर्मी से वाटर का वाटर वेपर्स बनकर एटमॉस्फेयर में एंटर करना इवेपोरेशन कहलाता है. Factors affecting the rate of evaporation. Evaporation takes place everywhere and at all the temperatures, but there are certain factors that control the rate of evaporation. These are temperature, degree of dryness of the air, winds or movement of the air. Now let us discuss these factors in detail. The first is temperature. पानी सन की हीट से इवेपोरेट होता है. हॉट एयर कैन इवेपोरेट मोर वाटर देन द कोल्ड एयर. जैसा कि हमें पता है दैट क्लॉथ्स dry faster on a hot day. So that means temperature affects the rate of evaporation. Second is dry air. ड्राई एयर में वाटर वेपर्स को एब्जॉर्ब करने की कैपेसिटी ज़्यादा होती है, इसी कारण क्लॉथ्स को ह्यूमिड डे और रेनी सीजन में ड्राई होने में ज़्यादा टाइम लगता है. नेक्स्ट इज विंड्स. स्ट्रॉन्ग विंड्स ऑल्सो इंक्रीज डिग्री ऑफ इवेपोरेशन. एज वी ऑल नो हाउ ड्रायर हेल्प्स इन ड्राइंग आवर hairs. So that means it also affects the rate of evaporation. Next is humidity. Water vapor present in the atmosphere is referred to as humidity. Humidity का main source evaporation of surface water है. When the air contains lots of water vapor, the water is described as humid. Humidity can be expressed in two ways. First one is absolute humidity and second is relative humidity. Now let us understand what is absolute humidity. It refers to the total amount of water vapor present in a given volume of air. Absolute humidity is expressed in terms of grams of water vapor per cubic meter of the air. For example, अगर absolute humidity 20 grams per cubic meter है, that means in a sample of 1 cubic meter of air, the amount of water vapor present is 20 grams. Next is relative humidity. Relative humidity is a ratio between the actual amount of water vapor present in the air and the maximum amount of the water vapor the air can hold at that temperature. So it is expressed in the or measured in the percentage form. This is the formula to calculate relative humidity. It is amount of water vapors present in the air divided by amount of water vapor needed for saturation into 100. That means when the relative humidity is 100%, the air is said to be saturated. Now the factors affecting relative humidity. Two factors affect relative humidity. The first one is relative humidity can increase either by increase of evaporation and addition of more water vapors, or relative humidity can increase by lowering of the temperature, that is cooling down of moist air. Relative humidity can be measured with the help of an instrument known as the wet and dry bulb thermometer. Now the difference between absolute and relative humidity. The differences can be explained with the help of this chart. Absolute humidity, the amount of water vapor actually present in the air, is commonly referred to as the absolute humidity, and relative humidity is percentage of the amount of moisture the air could possibly hold. Absolute humidity can be expressed in moisture per cubic meter of the air. That means it is expressed in gram per meter cube. Relative humidity, it is expressed in percentage as the ratio of vapor pressure to saturated vapor pressure. The last difference is absolute humidity is totally independent of the temperature, but relative humidity, if the temperature goes up, relative humidity goes down, and if the temperature goes down, relative humidity goes up. Thank you. That's all for today.